What's up guys, we're going to do something a little different today. I'm going to do kind of a hybrid review slash repair. Today we're looking at my old Velocifire keyboard. It's a cheap mechanical I bought on Amazon. I bought this particular one about a year ago. Used it for about 3 or 4 months and I ended up breaking one of the keys on it. So I did an RMA for it and they just sent me a new one. Didn't really want me to send this one back. So I've been using this, just take back and forth to work. I just have an extra keyboard there. But it's getting really annoying having the button broken. So the key I broke is the inner key on the 10 keypad. We do a lot of programming, and this key is how I always increment my lines, and this key doesn't respond anymore. For a short while there, it would respond if you pushed on it and then angled a little bit, so and now it stopped working altogether. So I'm guessing that the solder pad just kind of broke, so we should be able to fix that. So I figure while we're in there, may as well do kind of a tear down and do kind of a review its internals, see if it's got what kind of quality of components it's using inside, that kind of thing. So as far as specs go, it's using off-brand brown switches. I tried to look up seeing what kind of switches, but it doesn't actually say on the Amazon listing. So if you're interested, I'll throw a link down in the description where you can pick this guy up. But I mean, I'm really happy with the keyboard. The switches are a little, they're not cherries, but they're definitely not bad either. Had to go back to a membrane keyboard for a little while in the past couple days and it's been horrific, and I don't ever want to go back because even as cheap as this thing is, it's still fantastic. So if you want to see any kind of full specs, features, that kind of thing, check out the Amazon link. Again, I'll throw it in the description here so you guys can check out and see what exactly this thing does. But got a nice blue backlight. I really like the keyboard, so I'd like to fix it. So let's crack her open and see what we can do. Also, I'm trying for the first time recording with a second camera on OBS on the iMac, so we'll see how that goes too. And as you can see, I've had to do a little bit of modification to the iMac to make this work, but we'll see what we can do. So this keyboard's been pretty good to me so far. I've had a lot of fun with it. But again, with that 10 key busted, it's so sad. But keys nice and clicky, have a good sound to them. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up. My air conditioner's running, and I've got pretty bad microphone and pretty bad microphone, so yeah. Anyway, soldering iron's heating up. It's pretty hot already, so I have a feeling we're going to be soldering once we get inside of here. But let's crack it open and see what our internals look like. And I haven't even looked to see where the screws are on this yet, so I'm like super prepared as usual. And also don't have a 10, so we're just going to use the inside of this lid. Alright, so definitely got some screws up here. I'm guessing there are screws underneath these guys. Caps here. There's a button, and I saw something about the button in the instructions, but I don't know what the button's for. I guess I should have read those, huh? Alright, so we're going to try and pry these little nubs out. I'm guessing there are screws behind these, but I'm not really sure. Doesn't appear to move. Doesn't appear to move. Okay, maybe those things are just for looks. Feels like we got a screw behind here. Should I try and peel the whole sticker up, or should we try and hop through it? I guess if we're going it right, we may as well try to get the whole thing up. Okay, that didn't work. Yep. Oh, nope, not working. Oh, it's unnubbing. It's unnubbing. We ruined the label for nothing. There definitely is one under this QC sticker. I felt it for sure. So if you're looking for the best way to take these little stickers off, that wasn't it. Yep, there's one. I think it's safe to assume that there are screws under this foot and the other one as well. We'll stick these guys up here and we'll figure out how to reattach them later. Let's see if this guy separates now. Definitely a little separation there. Okay. Okay, so this thing definitely pops apart in a few places. And there's our keyboard. Ain't she beautiful? Alright. Oh, whew, this thing's heavy. Kind of set the shell aside here. The USB just plugs in here. We're just gonna get a little pull. Comes right out. So we got our processor there. To be the microcontroller that tells it what key to hit, where the keys are, all that good stuff. Some little diodes here, and I don't know, never been inside a mechanical keyboard before, but this is the key we're looking for, is the inner here. So I'm gonna grab my macro lens. We're gonna take a look at these joints here, and I'll record that for you guys too, so we can see exactly what's going on here. Also, most of the weight of this keyboard is apparently coming from this plate here, which I think is a steel plate, but it's super heavy. All the rest of the keyboard appears to be plastic, but that plate is very hefty. So there's a switch we're looking at. You can see how it kind of flexes a little there. That's not a good thing. So what we want to do is get to the bottom of it, literally get to underneath here and see where exactly it's not connected at. Wow, you can really see it there. See how much it wiggles. Definitely don't get any wiggle out of the other ones like that. So definitely something broken loose there. Let's see if we can figure out what. Okay, I don't even need to get the macro lens, but I will just to show you what's happening, because I already figured it out. Macro lens. Apparently the macro lens has the same jingle as the Trojan Man song. I don't know. My brain goes weird places, guys. Okay, now I've got the macro installed. So if you look close to the inner key here, you can see that the solder point is broken loose from the board here. That's causing this whole assembly to just wiggle. So I need to see if this trace is still electrically connected to anything. Looks like it's broken off all the way around. It's hard to tell. That is definitely broken off all the way around. So we're going to have to see if we can re-secure that somehow and then reconnect it electrically as well. So this should be fun. So we're going to use the meter here and find out where exactly this key goes. Looks like it goes here. Alright, here we're going to try and scratch off a little bit of the surface here to get some of the trace exposed. Then we can take that, we can pinpoint exactly where this guy goes. So now we're electrically connected there. We can see so it looks like this keyboard's using a grid array where there's a horizontal stripe with multiple devices attached to it. In this case, it's going to be 3, 2, and 1 are all on the same horizontal grid. So that's good. So that means if we can't go here, we can at least run a jumper wire here. So what we're going to want to do is our soldering iron. We're going to, I'm not going to do it quite yet. We're going to heat it up so it reflows, push the button all the way up, add a little more solder, see if we can grab that copper pad there, let it cool off so it at least hardens, and then we'll check the connection, see if it works, and then if it does, we're good. If not, we'll run a little jumper wire from there to there. from the ground here to the 3 there. Just as short and as thin as possible. But then it should definitely work electrically. I'm still a little worried about it mechanically because it's got a little bit of give to it. So let's get a better camera angle and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do to hold the enter button up is I'm going to take the actual cap of the key upside down, and we're going to just sit the key on top of it so that it kind of pushes this little pad up as far as it'll go. That way when we heat this up, it'll just kind of melt straight down. I'm feeling like we should probably take this old solder off before we do this, so let's do that. Or just use a small screwdriver to just cap this a little bit off here. And there's the actual solder point that's broken loose to the board. Getting this back on is going to be fun. I think what I'm going to try and do is take this solder trace and kind of flip it over so it's the copper side up. Well, that's fiberglass, isn't it? And then we're just going to kind of add solder till it doesn't move anymore, basically. Basically what we're trying to do here is just make a big ass blob so it can't pull back through. See how we're not moving anymore? So now we're going to keep it propped on there. We are going to have to run a jumper wire, so I wasn't able to get it to adhere to the solder point there. So let's grab a little bit of jumper and we'll make a patch cable. So I'm not sure exactly what the best kind of cable is for doing this, but I really like using stranded cable for this. It soaks up the solder a lot quicker. It's a lot easier to solder this stuff than it is the like solid core stuff. So we're going that far exactly, so we'll leave a smidge extra so we can clean up this other end too. You are going to want to tin these. If you're not familiar with tinning, basically we're just getting the wire hot so it'll set the solder up. I hate doing pieces this short because it gets very, very hot. Whew. And you can burn your fingers really easily. So I think we're going to try and come down and then back up to it. I think that's going to be the easiest way to get this to run cleanly. So let's grab some tweezers to hold it with, just because it's so freaking small. I need to add some solder to that too. You generally want to add your solder on the opposite side of where you're applying heat to, because generally if it's hot enough to melt on the opposite side, then you've got enough heat going to it. If you try and melt it near the iron, there's not really any guarantee that the joint itself is getting the solder applied properly. I'm not really sure what to do with this blob here, because the blob is really just a placeholder to keep it from moving. So I think I'm just going to keep pressure on it to keep it from pulling away. Just add heat to the blob until we can get it to merge with the cable there. Oh Lord, that's hot. Ooh. And I also did not let go of the pressure before I had this on here, so the pressure never let off of this thing. So maybe, just maybe, we won't move. Seems to still be working. Check and see if we're getting electrical connection here. Fantastic. And then when you let go. Okay, so this will be with the switch actually works. This will go off. Cool. So there she is. It's a little ghetto. It's not pretty. So it's ugly, but it works. It's also very, very flat. So that's good. So I guess the next test is we'll hook it up and see if it works. But I don't have any more USB ports on the computer here to check it, so we'll be doing that separately. I feel like I should get the can of compressed air and blow it out while I'm in here. See if Ladybug can bring it to me. Can you bring me the canned air? Thank you, boo.
Forgot canned air.
Is not just from that movie.
Is not just some Ren and Stimpy shit.
Oh, it was also in Spaceballs.
That was it. It was Spaceballs.
Yep.
I was thinking Futurama, but.
Alright. So I guess this wouldn't be much of a review if we didn't do a better look at the internals here while we're in here. Let's really look a little more in depth at what exact parts we're using here. Vision VS09M. That's the main processor there. Let's see what that is. Alright, so I looked up the CPU on this guy. I keep saying CPU, it's not a CPU. I looked up the processing chip on here, and I don't see it online. So if you guys see it, let me know. If you find a link to the data sheet, please link it to me. Don't link in the comments though, because it'll flag you for spam. Go YouTube. Alright, so this is actually a pretty well made keyboard. Everything's placed pretty evenly. A little bit of flux left on the keyboard in a few places, but other than that, it's pretty nice. So now it's just reassembly. There are also apparently a whole buttload of little nubs here that go up and hold the back plate of this guy. I guess front plate technically because it's on the front side of it, but nice. And that actually suspends quite nice, so we actually don't have to worry about that extra room there. So now even if this guy does come undone from the board again, that patch wire will keep it working electrically, even if it does come loose. Yeah, something like that, right? Also, that button back here appears to not do anything. It's not actually a button at all. It's just there for looks. That's doing it for now. Hope you like the review of this Velocifire VM01. Again, it's my first ever review. Let me know how you liked it. I know there wasn't a lot of content about the tech specs or anything like that, but I like this keyboard. I really like it. Lady Baka liked mine so much we bought her one too. The company was really good about replacing the defect on this one when it did go bad. So I've had nothing but good experience so far. So check it out. There's a link down in the description to go to Amazon to pick this guy up. Also in the description while you're there, I've got a new link set up for myself where you can actually go and buy me a cup of coffee. Just one-time donations. It's like $3, just buy me a cup of coffee. So I think it's cool. Anyway, that's good enough for now. Hit the like button, get subscribed. I'll see you next time.